This is spa coffee, which is called the Grand Tour Blend from a company called ORSiR Coffee in Taichung, Taiwan. And coffee that I was gifted by the owner, who's an industry friend of mine, Joe Shu, a really great coffee guy. And I thought I'd share with it to you today. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Coffee Q&A, your daily dose of coffee. Q&A here on the OnoCoffee channel. I'm Joe, your host, and if you're just joining for the very first time, we do this live stream most Monday through Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So good to see all of you. How's it going? Kent, good to see you. Espresso and Bikes, what's going on, man? How are you doing? We've got our coffee here. This is the ORSiR Spa Coffee Cup and Roast, the Grand Tour Blend. And we're going to get into that. And this is one of those like coffee packs, right? So this is a little like bag in a coffee thing. And I thought that we would have a look at it because, I haven't really had a chance to try it. And you might have noticed in the description of the titles, it says, what does it say? It says that coffee people hate me to review things like this. And I think they do because, I'll reveal that towards the end of this tasting. Mom, how are you this morning? So we're not going to take too long to get into this. We're going to go right away into this thing. I got 2 packs here, and let's have a look at what we have. We have this. It says Grand Tour Blend, and ORSiR Coffee is based in Taichung, Taiwan, and they're down about a 45-minute ride on the HSR, the high-speed rail, from Taipei south. And I was in Taipei for the championship one time, and I called up Joe, and I was like, hey, man, I'm in town. He's like, you should come down and visit. All right. How do I get there? He said, go to the train station, take the train, pay $35, come down, and then I'll pick you up. It was perfect. So perfect. So took the high-speed rail. It turns out the high-speed rail, like the distance between Taipei and Taichung, I think is something like the distance between Baltimore to at least New York, maybe even at least New York. And it took like 45 minutes. So super fast and $35, relatively cheap. Like if I was to go to New York City on the train today, it would be like, especially I took the highest speed rail train in America, which is the ORSiR, it would cost me a good $250. And I think that's one way, or $235, something like that. I don't go to New York anymore because it's just so expensive, right? It's just so expensive to travel. So forget it. No more traveling. No more traveling. Anton, that's what's going on, Anton. Anton, I got your message about Anton's message about the Kaiserschmarren, I think Marren. So I was watching some videos this morning. I was like, oh, videos. And there was that dude on DW, the DW channel, the Deutsch channel, where he went to Austria and he's got all this fancy setup where he takes the plums and he sautés the plums and he uses that as a side thing for his Kaiserschmarren, right? Kaiserschmarren. And we're gonna do that. Actually, I think we're gonna do something with that, but we're gonna cheat. I'm gonna tell you right now. Spoiler alert, we're gonna cheat on it. We're gonna cheat on it so that it's easier to make it home for most people around. Coffee Cove's with us. Good morning, Coffee Cove. Have you tried that coffee before? I have not tried this coffee before. This has been my first time. M0 says, we don't hate you. Yeah, I think a lot of people do. And that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. So I've got some water boiling, or had some water boiling. Now we're going to get our Temu ripoff for $7. Actually, this has gone up. I was looking at it the other day, and I think on Temu this is now $12. But still, that's a good deal for this knockoff Hario. Actually, man, I'm really impressed with it. Like I'm totally like into this, especially when it's $7. Now that it's $12, I'm not as into it. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we have a little more spill. Oh, that's too much zooming. Okay, now we're going to see here. We need to have a scale. Here is our fellow scale. I was talking to Matt the other day, and he was like, I'm on my 4th 8-in. I was like, what? It's like, yeah. He's had 3 failures. Is it 3 failures or 4 failures of the 8-in? Like it bricks itself. So I don't know what's going on. And like he sent it back, and they're asking him for them back. So he sent it back to them, or they sent them, a return receipt. They sent it back, and he's still waiting. I was like, man, that is just craziness. I don't know what's going on there. All right, so now let's hear. We got the spa thing. Let's open it up. and it's all in Chinese, so I can't read Chinese, so I won't pretend. Now, these are those bags, right? I'm sure you've seen this. So this is great for traveling, right? So if you're traveling somewhere and you're on the plane, you can get this, and these are like little fold-out wings. I'm sure we've used these before. And you tear this top, so it's sealed here. The coffee, the ground coffee is already in here. And you tear it open, and you pour the water through it. So it's kind of got chocolatey notes. But let's see how much it weighs. Let's see how much. We're going to estimate how much coffee is in here so we can figure out how much water. 152 grams. So let's say that this apparatus that it's housed in is, let's say it's 5 grams. So we're probably 147 grams. And at 147 grams, I think what it's saying here, right? It says here 150 to 200 cc's of water. I think that's what that's saying. If any of you can read Chinese, let me know what you think, because, yeah, I can't read it. Anton says it's a good price. Not a fan of the Hario server, though. The shape doesn't lend itself to some brews. Understood. But for pour-over brewing, I think it's fairly. I think it's great. X-Doom Studio is far superior to the 8-in. I hear you. I mean, I don't really. I'm so bad at like brewing at home. Like I see all these crazy gadgets. I'm like, well, even though I have like a Technivorm, it's still in the box. Like I pull it out to use once in a while. But for most brewing, I'm just like, well, like this morning, I decided to make some coffee, right? So I grabbed my coffee, I ground it up in my old school Baratza grinder, right? Put it into a beat up, the same beat up you use, like stained Clever that you've seen me use on this show. It's upstairs. That actually lives in the kitchen. Put that in, put the coffee in there. And I'm now to the point where I'm not even boiling water. I'm like, I'm so lazy, but I just go to I got this big like 5-gallon water dispenser that has cold and hot. I'm just using the hot. I have no idea. I haven't even tested. I'm like, I don't even care to test it. Like I don't care to know what the temperature is. It's hot enough to brew. It makes decent enough coffee. I'm perfectly happy with that. And so this is how I live in my world. Like actually I did scale the coffee this morning. So I did weigh everything out. Well, I weighed the coffee. I didn't weigh the water. I just can't be bothered sometimes. I'm really terrible at this. Okay, so we're going to do. So 140 grams. Oh, we can even see that here. So 104. We're presuming 153 grams, right? No, I'm sorry. 10. I don't know why I said 100. It's 10 grams of 10 grams weight. So then let's say 10.6 grams. Let's say it's 2 grams, 3 grams for this. 5 grams. Let's say 5 grams. So 8. Gosh, man, that would be like 5 grams of coffee. That can't be. $153 grams of water to our normal ratio. So let us presume that we're going to go to. Let's just ratio that down because we have to compensate for the weight of this, right? Kent says, isn't the sachet only 10 grams? You're totally right. I'm totally excited to read the right side of the scale rather than the left side of the scale. So it's like, oh, yeah. I just caught on to that. I just caught on. Thank you, Ken. Thank you. So, what do you think? I would say maybe 2. Let's say 2 grams, right? Because I can't believe that they would only put, 8-9 grams in here or less than that. Like that seems crazy. Power Plant says, I'd say Clever is the best brewer for most people. I mean, I think it's easy way to brew. Like I don't have to think. And the truth is, when I'm brewing at home, I don't want to think. Like I don't want to sit there and I don't want to do any of that. I've done that enough in my career. I'm like, I'm just like, I'm just like going to the machine, right? Hitting putting the Clever underneath the spout, hitting the button and just letting it fill. Like I do kind of consume. do concern myself. Like the water, of course, stream is coming into the filter, right? Or into the brewer, and the coffee's mound is here. So this part of the coffee is not necessarily getting wet. So I will like shake it around to hydrate the coffee ground so that it's all saturated. Like I'm not an animal, right? So I will shake it and hydrate the coffee, and then I'll cover it. I could use the clever cover, and then that works fine. Like I put it into my thermal cup, and I go sit down and watch more YouTube videos about Kaiserschmarren, and plan what we're going to be doing for that, right? Prop Plant says those sachets are good for sticking your shoes to mask bad smells. I guess so. All right, so we're going to let's do 140 grams. What does it say? It says, well, it does say 150 to 250 cc. So we're just going to do what they say, 150 grams, even though I think it's probably a little bit less of a ratio for us, right? Meaning that there's more water than coffee. So we're going to pull this open. So this will sit we'll sit like that, right? Now we're going to, oh gosh, this is the part that I'm always like, I don't think these work. I don't know. I've had them kind of collapse on me at times. Okay, let's just change this. We're just not even going to bother with this stuff. Oh, there's a timer. Okay, good. Okay, good. Let me bring the water back to under boil. Oh, let's put this there so it looks nice on camera. Nice composition there for you. Wow, under the lens. Under the lens. Come on, baby. Oh yeah, there we go. Maybe the composition's better this one. Okay, nice. All right, now we've got our water boiling again. We're going to use our Kogu kettle here. Okay, now let's begin. Hit this button. I think that's going to give us the timer. Now the coffee, I should have showed you. I just noticed it right now. I didn't look till just now, but the coffee is very, very finely ground. Like it's super finely ground. I would say it's approaching espresso grind, and I'm presuming that the reason you grind the coffee this fine is so that you can get additional extraction with a minimal amount of coffee. Right, here we go. 33 seconds into it. 1 grams. Russell, good morning to you, man. How are you doing? All right, really, I'm just trying to keep the water level relative, just kind of at the same level every pour. So it'll drop a little bit, then I'll raise it up to the same level. I don't want to exceed that level, but I just want to hold it there. What I'm going to say that there's a deep crema forming here that looks very espresso-like. Like you can see the color of the crema looks very espresso-y. About halfway through our brew, 79.8 grams. Smells all right. Today I need to go get a haircut. I haven't had a haircut in like 2 months. And I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel like it's getting too long on the sides. But I also have to go to the sawmill today to pick up some lumber. I'm building some of the tables for the new shop. I've decided, now that I'm back from my trip to Boston, to New England, I'm starting to get back to work on opening this shop of ours. I'm focusing on that. Anton says, "Oh man, I also need you definitely need a haircut there, my friend. We all need haircuts. We're all looking a little bit shaggy now." 126. We're going to go to 145, I think. Oh no, we said we're going to go to 150. We're going to follow their directions and go to 150. We're 3 minutes, so we've got a good brew time going on at least, right? So. Okay, 150 grams. There we go. And we still have water inside the bag. So we're going to let that flow through. Hopefully we should be done around 4 minutes or before 4 minutes. Maybe we'll be done by 3:45. And that'll be I think that's a good amount of time for brew and pour over. The aroma is very dark chocolate kind of notes. Very dark chocolate. Interesting. Is it stale or fresh? Well, I mean, I guess I can't say it's fresh. Or slightly sour. Slightly sour? No, I wouldn't say it's slightly. Well, let's see. We're almost done. We're almost done. We're done enough. We're done enough. It's still a little bit wet, the coffee. But now it's really dripping slowly. So let's finish this up. So 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Okay, that's good. Now. There's our coffee. It seems it seems rather diminutive in size. Like, what am I going to do with that? Like, I can't eat any. You can't eat cake with this. There's not even enough coffee to eat cake with it. There's a bit of pungency to it, tightness, dry, a little bit of tannic on the finish. One thing about this coffee that I will say, this spa coffee, is that I think that the idea behind this kind of so let me rewind a bit. So Joe, who's been a friend of mine in the business for many, many years, most of my career, I think I've known him. Really great guy, and he works with a lot of wonderful farms around the world, sources beautiful coffees. Like if you go to their website and you can read Chinese, you're going to see a lot of beautiful origins and a lot of beautiful coffees that are being offered by ORSiR Coffee. So if you have the opportunity to go to Taiwan, I would definitely recommend a visit to their cafe. Like when I was there, Joe's showing me around and we're talking, and he's sharing with me techniques about different methods of brewing and stuff that I had not even thought about. So it was very forward, very progressive thinking, like really amazing cafe. And I'm saying this because I want you to understand that what I'm going to say now should be prefaced by that. Like I have a tremendous amount of respect for him and what they do. But I do think that this coffee, tasting it now, is probably a coffee that's geared towards the more average consumer of coffees in any country, right? This would be applicable to any coffee purveyor, like even to myself, right? Like while I may work with a lot of farmers and have access to beautiful coffees and have brought beautiful coffees to Spro for many, many years, there are coffees that we make that are, a little bit more accessible, that are designed to be very approachable to a wide range of audience, right? Like, let's say, for example, like my coffee, which is the House Nation, right? That's kind of our main blend that we do for a lot of our clients, as well as for our walk-in guests at the old shop, where we would have a coffee that's very accessible, very nice nice quality, very nice quality coffee, but very accessible to people's general preferences towards coffee. Like I mentioned on Sunday, I was out going to play paintball, and we will stop by this place called Royal Farms here in Maryland, which is kind of like a convenience store. And they have these machines, I think I've featured before, where you walk up and they're all super autos, and you press the button, they grind the coffee, they dispense it into like whatever size you want. And they had one called Jamaican Blue Mountain. And Jamaican Blue Mountain, you expect it to be beautiful. It's terrible. Just rough coffee. It just has the Blue Mountain name. Even I would say that my house nation would not be this. It's not the same as, let's say, some of the other stuff we brought in, because it's meant to be more approachable. This, I think, is meant to be more approachable to a wider range of people. And it's a little bit rougher. It's definitely drier on the finish. Like, it's a very dry finish now. But there's still notes of chocolate. It's clean. It's not a dirty coffee. It's still a very clean coffee. It's just a little bit more chocolate, a little bit slightly rougher, drier on the finish. Like especially those of you who like these like more delicate, beautiful, kind of like lighter, brighter type of specialty coffees, this probably will not be to your liking. But if for those of you who enjoy more, I want to say rounded, but maybe that wouldn't be, I think that's too pejorative to the brighter coffees. But one that's a little bit more, I guess, rounded, chocolatey, more body, a little bit roastier than a light roast, so more medium roast. That's where this really kind of comes into play, right? I hope that makes sense. Powerplant says dark chocolate has sort of a slightly sour note, at least to me. Oh, interesting. Plebeian coffee, it's not going to this is not meant to challenge your palate, right? This is meant to be very agreeable to your palate, or to be very familiar to your palate. Let me not say agreeable. I'm going to say very familiar. Like if you're drinking coffee as a normal person, and I would say that most of you guys out there here on this show are not the normal person, in that would just drinks regular plain old coffee without thinking too much about it. This is what I think this is meant to appeal to that market, and it's packaged in a way that is very easy to use. Like, all of you guys and all of us here we'll take some effort to grind the beans, to heat the water, to maybe get nice quality water, to find the right filter, to get the right brewer, to do all this meticulous work to make one cup of coffee, whereas other people don't want to do that. And this is really the kind of thing that makes it easier for that person. And so hopefully, I think this is the kind of thing where you offer something like this, and this is true even for me. Like, we have things like the House Nation, so that people will try coffees that are a little, hopefully better than what they normally have, and they'll slowly, or maybe instantly, but at least slowly, become more interested in something better for themselves, in a better quality coffee, and then they'll maybe hopefully these will be springboards for them to explore the wider world of coffee that we all understand, right? So that's kind of the thing about it. It's non-confusing, non-confronting, non-confront. And I think that like for example, I've talked about this one coffee that we did that was anaerobic processed quite a few years ago now, many years ago now. That was from Uganda, that had a very blue cheese character to it, a really funky aspect to it. And that was part of that was created by using anaerobic cell fermentation. And, if you were a casual coffee drinker, average, normal coffee drinker, and you came to my shop and you were like, I need a coffee, and I gave you this funky, psychedelic, maybe not psychedelic, but funky blue cheese, kind of crazy coffee, and you're like, I heard you guys have good coffee. Well, I want a coffee. Well, here it is, man. This is what you're going to love. And you drink it, and you're like, what? Blue cheese? What the hell is that, right? You're like, that's disgusting. Right? And you're just totally revolted by it. Well, we failed. Then we failed on our mission to introduce you to better quality coffee. The coffee itself is of very good quality, right? But the flavor profile is so far out there that it's our task, it's our job, our responsibility as baristas to guide you to a coffee that you will find enjoyable to you. And just because I find it interesting or enjoyable doesn't necessarily mean that the guests walking in will find that to be equally as enjoyable, because they don't have the same experiences that I do. So it's a question of like, it's always a question of trying to find the right coffee to suit that person. Hopefully that coffee that we find to fit that person will lead them to exploring other coffees, right? At least that's the idea. Now, part of the reason why I wrote on the title that, coffee industry people are going to hate me for this, because now here's the big reveal. This coffee is one that I've been sitting on for quite some time. Not for any particular reason, but mainly because it got tossed in a box and I totally lost track of it. But I have not been to Taiwan since 2015. In 10 years, I've not been to Taiwan. So I did that competition in Taipei in 2015. Went down to Taichung to go visit my friend Joe. This is when he gave me this coffee. So this coffee has been in this packet for 10 years. So, is it necessarily a fair, thing to review? No. And we're not offering a serious review of it. It's just kind of a tasting. And, how does it taste after 10 years? It's probably nowhere near how nice it must have been when it first was new. But it's not terrible, right? It's not great. Whose fault is that? That's not their fault. That's my fault, right? Because I've been sitting on it for so long. But, I just think that it's interesting to try things that are kind of like crazy. And I think these are crazy to try because they're so they're way beyond what any normal person would keep. And I admit that, I totally want to be upfront about that. Like, no one would keep their coffee this long. This is psychotic, right? This is just like a whole nother level of ridiculousness and psychosis to keep coffee for this long. And it's not kept for any particular reason. Now, I've got a lot of friends, right? If I went to a party tonight or tomorrow and I gave this and I served this to some of my friends, they'd love it. They wouldn't even know the difference. They'd be like, this is nice coffee. It's perfect. Or at the very least, it would be commensurate with whatever, it would be, commensurate with whatever coffee they're drinking, right? Like their Starbucks or whatever. Coffee Co says, I bought those a few times. I like them for lazy or don't feel so well days or good for travel. That's exactly what I think they're great for, especially the travel part. And the nice thing is that it's got a brewer built inside and you don't have to I hate to carry brewing apparatus. There's nothing that infuriates me more than carrying brewing stuff with me, right? I've done it on trips because I was making videos, but man, if it was just for me when I don't have to make videos, I'm like, forget it. Leave all that stuff behind, man. Leave it behind. But this could be a way to go. And another thing also that I don't really, one of the reasons why I also don't like to bring coffee as much when I travel, because, I want to go out and explore coffee. I would like to go to local cafe shops to see what they're doing and see, what kind of coffees they might have. Because, and of course there are times, depending on what you're doing, that you may not have that opportunity. So there's always mitigating circumstances around it. But I do encourage people to go out and try local shops and see what they have to offer, because I think there's a lot of value that can be found in local cafes. Pepperline's asking, were we able to check out Task or Plurus? No, I wasn't able to check out. And I don't even know if those places were even around in 2015. Yeah, I didn't go to many places. We didn't even go to Berg's place because I don't think Berg was the champion at the time. But no, I didn't get to. Here's the thing. So, and I'm talking about going to cafes and spending your time while you're in place. Especially when those years when I was doing the competitions, there's not always a lot of time to go out and explore cafes, depending on how long you're in town. I would normally try to tack on a couple days after the show is over to go do something, which is what I did when I go to Taichung. And but a lot of times sometimes you just don't get that opportunity. And also when it came to that, it was also a question of I could, I have a good friend that I've known for 10 years, 15 by this point. Should I go visit him or just go around Taipei? And I was like, I'm going to go visit my friend. and see how he's doing and check out his operations, right? Those are TV. Oh, those are TVs. No, I haven't watched any shows. I have had, since I've returned, well, since I left for my trip to New England, I have watched 2 episodes of Only Murders in the Building. Oh, Task. I'll be honest. I watched the first episode of Task, and man, tough. It's a tough watch. I know you're really into it, and I know you said that it picks up, but man, that first episode was like an hour. God, it felt like 2 hours. Like I was like, what is? Like there's Mark Ruffalo. He's his wife. His son killed his wife. Jesus, what a terrible thing. And he's devastated. He's like on leave, and he's an alcoholic because he's devastated. And they wanted to be this task force leader to chase down these gangbangers that are like, robbing biker gangs and robbing their drug houses. But man, that first episode, there was just no connection. Like I just felt no connection to any of those characters. Like I just didn't care about them. Like it's just dragging. I'm smoking a cigar, so I've got a reason to be there. Like I'm not going to leave, but I'm just like, oh my God, man, what is going on here? So it was such a long and meandering and unconnecting episode for me that the thought of trying to watch episode 2 is tough at the moment. Like I haven't finished my own series that I like Only Murders in the Building. So to go to Task episode 2, man. I'm sorry, man. Sorry, but it's tough. It's tough. I'm the only person that have found the chat. Yeah, I just didn't connect. For whatever reason, I just didn't connect with them. Like the guys driving the trash truck. Okay, interesting. They're robbing like drug houses. Is this a problem? Like these are drug dealers. You're stealing money from drug dealers. Is that really a problem? Right? Like, yeah. Is that a problem? I don't know. And then like, Mark Ruffalo, yeah, I feel bad for him, but he's just like, I just felt no connection to him. Like 3 hours of Mission Impossible was a lot easier to watch than 1 hour of Task. I was like, oh my gosh, man. I was sitting there in the garage. I was like, oh God. I was like, and after a while, after like maybe like 40 minutes into it, I think I just totally lost. I just stopped paying attention. It's one of those times when you just start like, you're watching a show, you're smoking a cigar, and you're like, what's on Instagram right now? That's how bad it was for me. So it's like, man. I mean, I'll try to pick it up again, but literally everyone I've spoken to is I wish I was one of those people, man. I really do. Like I really do. But I do remember at one point I was like, how long has this been running? So I looked at the runtime and it was like 55. I was like 50 minutes. I was like 50 minutes. It's less than an hour. Son of a gun. I wish I connected with it better. I wish I could tell you that. I was like, well, it's awesome. But I am struggling with it. All right. What else is there to say about this? You know what I would like with this? Donuts. Donuts would be nice. Or cheesecake. Pluribus is very good. It is a new Vince Gilligan. Is that so? I'm presuming then that Pluribus has to do something with government, just based on the name, right? Like here in the United States, those are United Men. We have printed on our money et pluribus unum, which I don't even remember what the name of that means, but I'm presuming it has something to do with government. Oh, no government. Oh, okay. M0 says, I still haven't seen the space one that you recommended. The name is escaping. You might be referring to Alien Earth, which is the extension of the Alien franchise, comes to the planet Earth. So they crash land this vessel that has alien species as specimens for one of the corporations, and they start to run amok. Actually, I was a little bit surprised at the very ending because the one girl was like, what are we going to do now? And she's like, and now we rule. I was like, what? Like, what? Crazy. So I've heard. So one of my friends was telling me that they have not heard if Alien Earth has been renewed for a season 2, but I certainly hope so, because now I'm curious just to see where it's going to go. Like, oh, where are they going to go with this? All this, and now we've got like, and what the basic premise of Alien Earth is that they have these robots that they have taken children who had terminal diseases and transferred their consciousness and soul, essentially, into these synthetic bodies, so they're nearly impervious to anything. So there's the whole, it's not AI, but it's kind of like synthetic beings, but with real human, I don't even know, how do you say that? Real human souls? It's all bad. It's all bad. Anything with intelligence, AI, is bad. You don't want any intelligence. Pluribus is being executive produced by the same guy who did Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. Oh, nice. All right, that sounds like a good idea. We were just talking about Breaking Bad the other day. I don't remember what we were saying about it, but it's always a good time. Well, that's what it was. It's been such a long time since I've seen Breaking Bad, especially the ending. I thought I remember him dying at the end of the series. One of my friends is like, I don't think he dies. I was like, I thought he dies. Remember he had the cards, like, with the big gun? I think he dies, right? If you remember, let me know. I think he dies. Anton says, I started watching Alien Earth, but I haven't really found much fascination in it. So, see, I mean, I think it just depends on, your personality or who you are, right? Like, some people don't connect with it, right? Some people like don't connect with things like Doctor Who or whatever. And I think that's all right, but and I didn't think that I was going to connect with it as much. And I mean, it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm chomping at the bit, but I'm just I'm curious to see what happens. But like I think that, like for example, like I was never an Aliens fan. Like my brother's huge Aliens fan. Like he was all about Aliens and then all the other franchise parts. And I was like, for me, I was just kind of like, okay, it's cool. But I did kind of enjoy this Alien Earth series. I did enjoy it. Palplan says, I don't want to say too much about Pluribus's plot, but the show is quite good. Right. Fair enough. M0 says, definitely saw the commercial for that. It had an astronaut traveling into space. To me, like the alien cosmic energy manager. Oh, that's right. If I'm thinking about Ryan Gosling is in the TV series. Oh, I didn't see that one. I didn't see that. The latest Blade Runner. I'm a big fan of the original Blade Runner, but Blade Runner 2049. I don't know. It was okay. It was okay. For me, the highlight was Ana de Armas. Like I was like, oh my gosh, who is that? It's like, if she's in the movie, I got to go watch it. But she's actually pretty impressive because she came from, originally, the story, she came from Cuba. And when she came to the United States, which is like just a few years ago, not even that long ago, she came to the United States, didn't really speak English. So she's learned English and how to speak, American English in the time that she's been there. So very, very much a very committed, serious tour de force kind of person. So I respect that tremendously. Prabhan says the Ryan Gosling movie is the movie adaptation of Project Hail Mary, which is from the same author of The Martian. Oh, I have not seen that. Project Hail Mary. He's a science teacher who is drafted into going to space. That has not worked out well in the past. I think, now that I'm thinking about it, I might have seen something about that. So it says it's kind of apocalyptic. Great. here it is. AI says that the middle school science teacher Ryland Grace, who wakes up on a spaceship with amnesia, only to discover he is humanity's last hope against an extinction level event. Well, that's a lot of weight to be placed on someone's shoulders. Right? No, it's a movie. It was always Predator guy, Alien Rick James combined with Tampa Bay's Ray Buchanan coming in for the deep black. Oh my, that sounds kind of crazy. Oh, I did make a post of it on my YouTube. Maybe I did. I may do things and I totally will. Like, it's Alzheimer's. It must be Alzheimer's or something. And you get older, you start to forget about what you're doing.
Tampon culture is almost not.
Tampon culture. Slow down there, Patricia. Did I make a post about that? I'm going to go to my other account. Doesn't say anything. I'm not a big fan of like using the phone app for YouTube because it's a little bit less. Yeah, it looks good. The audiobook is really good too. The guy who reads it is excellent. Oh, all right. I'll have to look it up again. But maybe if I did post about it on YouTube, then I must have liked it. Right. All right. Well, I don't really have anything left for you, so otherwise we'd be babbling for no reason. So that was the spa coffee from ORSiR Coffee, the Grand Tour blend. It's a nice coffee for general drinking, especially for travel drinking. A nice comes packaged here. And if you got some today from them, you would not have the vintage of coffee that I'm using here. So as you can see here, this was made October 9th, 2015, with at least look at this. See, these guys are good. October 9th, 2015. I got this in November 2015. January 8th, 2016. So it's only what, 2-3 months? That's a good company when they say, oh, your expiration date is in November, December. Yeah, 3 months. That's good. That's good. Most companies in America will put a year date on it. So, all right. That's all I have for you today. Be back again tomorrow with another episode of the Coffee Q&A. Hope you have a wonderful day, night, or evening out there. And back again. Always good to see all of you. What is dead may never die. And Kent, good to see you as well. So all of you guys have a wonderful day out there, and see you next time.